Saving more, spending less, and clearing debts are some of the most popular personal finance resolutions for 2021. That's according to a new survey. The research carried out by YouGov for Metro Bank found that following a chaotic year for finances in 2020, many households are keen to get their financial plans back on track in the new year. The survey found that 54% of people are determined to manage their money better in 2021. Two-thirds said they want to save more next year than they did this year, regardless of whether they have made a specific New Year's resolution about their finance. People want to save an average of £4,400 next year. Saving more, spending less, and clearing debts are fantastic personal finance resolutions for 2021, but I think we can do better than these. So coming up in this video, 5 alternative personal finance resolutions for 2021, along with the steps that you can take to improve your chances of success. Hi everyone, I'm Martin Bamford, a chartered financial planner at Informed Choice. On this channel, I talk about personal finance, investing, and happiness. I make these videos to help you become wealthier and happier. If that sounds like a great result, click on that little red subscribe button to become a part of our subscriber community. It's completely free and you'll never miss an episode. This new research from Metro Bank found that 12% of people made a personal finance New Year's resolution last year. And despite the COVID-19 pandemic, 7 in 10 said they managed to stick to it. For the year ahead, 18% say they plan to establish a specific money resolution, with more women than men setting personal finance goals for 2021. When we hear about personal finance resolutions, it's common to hear about saving more, spending less, or repaying debts. These are worthwhile money goals at any time, but I think that we can do better. So I've drawn up a list of 5 personal finance resolutions for 2021 that, if completed, will put you on track to significantly improve your financial position. Number 1 is to experience a no-spend month. Now, we have an unhealthy relationship with consumerism, particularly here in the UK. This consumerism habit is perhaps magnified around this time of year with Black Friday, Christmas, and New Year sales. The shift to online retail accelerated this year during the pandemic, during the lockdowns, has made it so much easier to buy impulsively. The proliferation of buy now, pay later services like Klarna, but many others, has added a payment option for many online shops, making it far too easy to spend money on things that we can't truly afford. Make it a New Year's resolution to stop for 1 month. A no-spend month is a reset for our consumerism habit. Spend a month only buying the essentials, the things that we need, not the things that we want. If you really want to embed this as a habit, then commit to 66 days of no discretionary shopping. 66 days, because according to a 2009 study from UCL, that's how long it takes on average to form a new habit. Resolution number 2 is to learn a new skill. It's looking increasingly likely that lockdown measures will remain in place for at least another couple of months. We're waiting today on news about the approval of the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine, apparently with a 95% effectiveness rate and 100% success in keeping people from developing serious illness, which is often associated with hospitalisation. The UK has ordered 100 million doses of this vaccine, and it's the one that can be stored in a fridge. So potentially it is a game changer in terms of easing lockdown measures. However, it is going to take some time for this vaccine rollout. Make the best use of this time. If you're not currently commuting to the office, then use that freed up time for self-improvement. What new skill or qualification could you acquire in the next few months that will boost your earnings power? When we look back at this disruptive period of our lives, this pandemic, and let's assume that lasts for about a year in total, the last thing any of us want is regret. Regret that we've squandered an opportunity for self-improvement in terms of knowledge, health, relationships. If formal qualifications or courses are not your thing, then commit to reading 2 or 3 books in the coming months, books that will make you smarter and will help you make better decisions in the future. A few suggestions from me, and I'll put links to these in the description. Atomic Habits by James Clear, The Almanac of Naval Ravikant by Eric Jorgensen, and Tools of Titans by Tim Ferriss. Read one or more of these books, implement a handful of their lessons, and your life, and of course your personal finances, will improve in 2021. Resolution number 3 is to improve your health. Look, when it comes to money, there are broadly 4 types of wealth. We all know about the financial type. It's the kind of wealth that's fairly easy to measure. Alongside financial wealth is status, and those two often go hand in hand. My favourite measure of wealth, I think the most important, is time or flexibility. But the 4th type of wealth, the one that's often overlooked, is health. Too often we sacrifice our health to obtain financial wealth and status. One of the key personal finance principles is paying yourself first, and I think this should extend to our health as well. Just like improving our financial situation, this doesn't need to be particularly complicated. Commit to some simple activities like walking at least 10 minutes every day, spending time in nature, spending less time sitting down. Build good habits on top of good habits, and better health outcomes will quickly follow. Resolution number 4 is to become Finvincible. This term, Finvincible, is something I'm going to create some more videos around shortly. But in short, it means financially invincible, Finvincible. It's not quite as scary as it sounds. It's not quite as out of reach as it sounds. Start by thinking about your points of financial vulnerability. Where are you at your weakest in financial terms? For most of us, becoming Finvincible is possible by getting debt under control, building a cash emergency fund, and then using insurance products to protect against possible catastrophes, death, critical illness, or loss of income due to sickness or accident. There is more to becoming Finvincible, but these steps are a solid start. More on this to come on the channel soon, so press that little red subscribe button so you don't miss out. And then resolution number 5 is to talk to your family or loved ones about money. One of the biggest financial themes over the coming years is the intergenerational wealth transfer, sometimes referred to as the Great Wealth Transfer. More and more post-war baby boomers are reaching retirement age, and this wealthy generation are increasingly passing assets down to their children, to their grandchildren, either during their lifetimes or when they die. It is essential that this wealth transfer is done in an intentional way. Talking about money can be hard, it can be difficult. It's still a taboo topic for many, especially for those raised during those more austere times of the post-war years. There are lots of good reasons to avoid talking about money. It can seem rude, it can feel a little distasteful, but there's no shame in having candid conversations about money, about your plans for the future, about how to get the best outcomes for each generation in a family. The more we talk about money, the better we can plan for the future. And talking about money also leads to better expectations. We still come across far too many people who are relying on the receipt of an inheritance in the future designed to solve all of their financial planning challenges. But they don't know how much that inheritance might be. In many cases, they haven't even seen their parents' wills. Difficult or not, to have these money conversations, you must have them now. 5 alternative New Year's resolutions there that can improve your financial position in 2021. I'll summarise those quickly before sharing a few tips for boosting your chances of success with each of these resolutions. So number 1 was to experience a no-spend month, or better still, a no-spend 66 days, because that's how long it takes on average to form a new habit. Number 2, learn a new skill. If formal qualifications and courses are not your thing, then read some inspiring books instead. Number 3, take your health more seriously. Go out for a walk, do some forest bathing. Number 4, become Finvincible. Lots more on Finvincibility to come on this channel, but for now, consider your biggest financial vulnerabilities and patch them up. And then number 5, talk about money. Sit down with your partner, your parents and your kids and have those sometimes difficult money conversations. You will all feel better afterwards. We know that setting resolutions is easy, but sticking to resolutions can be hard. One big reason that New Year's resolutions fail is that they are not specific enough. So for each of these financial resolutions, make them as specific as possible. At the very least, quantify them and give them a timescale. Something else you can do to make your resolutions stick is to break them down into mini goals. When I set myself a really big goal, for example, running an ultra marathon, I know that I'll lose motivation and I'll fail to keep up with my training unless I've got some milestones to hit along the way. Reward yourself for achieving each mini goal, each milestone. And last but not least, frame your resolutions in a positive way. I'm awful at this. I default towards setting goals that are a negative. For example, Martin, stop eating chocolate ice cream. That's not framing the goal in a positive way. Better would be, for me, start following the primal diet, eating healthy, nutritious food, fruit, vegetables, fish, meat, a bit of dairy. But ultimately, it's the same goal. It's just framed in a more positive way. What are your New Year's resolutions for 2021? How will you improve your odds of your resolutions succeeding? Let me know in the comments. If you found this video helpful, there is a super quick thing you can do right now, right this second, to support this channel. Press the like button. And if you fancy being an even bigger supporter, why not share this video with your social network or with a friend who you think would get something out of watching it? Press that share button now. Until next time, I'm Martin Bamford, and remember, when it comes to your money, the more you know, the faster it can grow.